Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome to episode 221, celebrating 5.5 years on the air and still going strong. Here's to another exciting episode. Such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for tuning in every Saturday night and engaging with me on social media thereafter. That truly does make it all worthwhile. Please continue to follow us on the gram at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. And remember that all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel, Sundays at 2 p.m. via digital streaming. And you can also check us out directly on Your Home TV platform on our channel at mox.yourhometv.com. It's free worldwide programming to you. In the Hydration with Heart segment, proudly brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, today we're featuring Asia Noël. She's a multifaceted creative, a healer, and a mother from Richmond, Virginia. With sacred dialogue and radical presence, she's turning everyday moments into something deeply sacred. This is the story of a woman who whispers to trees, and yes, they whisper back. In the Better, Brighter You segment brought to you by Cyspera, we're spotlighting a dynamic duo in dermatology, a father-son team redefining excellence in skincare. Dr. Joel Schlessinger is a double board-certified dermatologist and founder of LovelySkin.com, and his son, Dr. Daniel, is also a board-certified dermatologist and cosmetic surgeon and co-founder of FixMySkin Healing Balms. Today, we're diving into a topic that's gaining ground really fast, men's skincare. We're going to go beyond the razor and chat men's skin, hidden concerns, and the father-son duo changing the face of dermatology. In our Express Polished Beauty segment, co-contributor Dr. Daisy Aim, triple board certified cosmetic surgeon and OBGYN, chats about eco-friendly wellness, how sustainability is becoming a key consideration in wellness choices. In CO2 Lips Going Deep segment, today we're joined by Candice Marino, also known as the LA Facialist. For almost 2 decades, Candice has been a trusted and sought-after medical esthetician in the heart of Hollywood. She joins me today to give us the inside scoop on what's in her skincare arsenal and what her celebrity clients can't live without. Stay tuned for Asia Noël, the tree whisperer, coming up in Once Upon a Coconut's Hydration with Heart segment. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by the Fieldhouse in Northvale, New Jersey, a vibrant and fresh take on youth and adult sports and family fun, and home to the New Jersey Thunder softball program. Plan unforgettable birthday parties or private events, or explore camps and programs that keep kids active and inspired. Take time for yourself in adult leagues or rent a field or court with friends. From a cutting-edge gaming cave to hitting and pitching centers and top-tier sports instructors, the Fieldhouse is reigniting the next generation of play. Head to mjfieldhouse.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, the premium coconut water brand that keeps us refreshed, aligned, and deeply rooted in wellness. In an age where burnout is rising and more than 60% of adults report feeling emotionally disconnected from nature and themselves, that's according to a study by the American Psychological Association, reconnecting to something bigger, something ancient, isn't just healing. It's totally necessary. Our guest today is not just doing that. Asia Noël is a multifaceted, creative healer and mother from Richmond, Virginia, whose journey has captured the hearts of over 175,000 followers and counting. Her work bridges spirit and self through a grounded reverence for nature, motherhood, and deep-rooted inner healing. Asia draws wisdom from her son, Kazier, and from Gaia, a tree in her backyard she lovingly calls her spiritual partner. With sacred dialogue and a radical presence, she's turning everyday moments into something deeply sacred. This is a story of a young woman who whispers to trees, and yes, they whisper back. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you so much for having me, Zen. Thank you so much for iHeartRadio. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Gaia, healing, and all of the things.
Asia, okay, let's begin with this powerful term, tree whispering. What does it mean to you, and how did this relationship with Gaia, your backyard tree, first begin?
Yeah. So tree whispering, it's really less about like talking to trees and more with about just listening with your spirit. And so, in when I talk to trees and, and engage in a dialogue, it's through energy. And so it's, when Gaia responds back, she responds through energy. And so some people say that it's, you know, they respond telepathically or, just energetically. But I have, yes, found that I can have a call and response type relationship with Gaia, which is the tree in my backyard. This all came about actually from a very dark time in my life. Someone that raised me survived an overdose back in 2021. And I use nature to heal myself from that. I just started walking every day. And so it just so happened that a friend told me about the book, The Hidden Life of Trees. And I put on my headphones every single day, went out there for healing, but started to educate myself and listen to the books. And so the book, The Hidden Life of Trees, and then after that, I started diving into Joe Dispenza's work and the book Becoming Supernatural, which talks all about healing and healing energetically, and using energy to heal yourself, others. And so through that, I made a connection. And Gaia kind of called to me. It's hard to say how exactly it started, but I remember going outside, just sitting in my backyard, needing to heal. And I started using trees to, basically mirror my healing. I give gratitude. I say, thank you for your oxygen. Thank you for your friendship. But then I will either ask her to touch my face, move closer to my voice, touch my shoulder, or raise her vibration, which will look like the wind to some people. But, it's really just you see the tree not moving. And then after asking to raise its vibration, you see, the trees, whether it's Gaia or another tree, move and respond energetically.
Through their branches, they just
Yes,
move
through their limbs. Yes.
closer to it. Now, there's something beautifully primal about that. The idea that healing doesn't have to come in a clinical setting. It could come from leaning your head against the bark of a tree and simply listening. It reminds me that nature is not separate from us. She is us. And it also reminds me of a post that went viral of a scientist who's now using artificial intelligence to translate what the trees are saying. And this is oh yeah, I have to get you this post. Now, that's another interview, but so many of us are glued to our screens, yet craving something real. So how do you use your digital platform to help reconnect with the earth and with yourself?
Yeah. So it wasn't easy at first because I started talking to Gaia and conversing with her in 2021. And that was after I kept it private. So my phone wasn't involved. It was just for healing. And I was on a social media break at the time. I think that's exactly why, I wasn't, the phone wasn't involved. But then back then, I remember once I started receiving responses, essentially, I was excited about it. And so I posted it on social media. It was not received well. I've been called schizo and all types of things. And so it caused some fear and some shame that I've since healed from. And I took it down, or maybe I didn't take it down, but I stopped posting it. And then something about 2025, some people say it's the age of Aquarius, but I remember talking to a different tree, which I call Every. It's in my boyfriend's backyard. And she responded. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to post this, this footage. And it took off.
Now, you're not just posting content, you're offering a portal back to presence, really. And in a world dominated by performance, that authenticity is a radical act of resistance. And I love the fact that you're combating all the naysayers. Now, your personal definition of health in your bio, I want to talk about that. So it stands for holistic empowerment, authenticity, love, transformation, and herbalism.
Yes.
Feels like both a manifesto and a mantra.
Yes, yeah.
How does hydration, both physical and energetic, fit into your vision of healing?
Absolutely. Oh, hydration is everything. It's not just drinking water. It's for me, emotional, spiritual, and cellular alignment. And so when I drink water or coconut water, I'm not only, drinking it, I'm very intentional. And so I actually infuse my water before drinking it with gratitude, with affirmation, with intention. And so that's just my practice and what I do. But I also know as a natural medicine worker that dehydration can be the root cause to some diseases. For instance, high blood pressure. A lot of people don't know that that's really the root cause. And so just by, hydrating yourself and making sure you have those natural electrolytes, whether it's coconut water or maybe putting a little lime in your water, that's the key, for it all. So hydration for cellular alignment, as well as, a healing practice. Being intentional with everything that you do is important.
And the trees thrive on water without a
Oh,
doubt.
absolutely.
Let's
Right,
not
right. And
forget
the
that.
trees need it too. We're just, I always say humans are complicated plants, and so
Oh, yeah.
they need water, we need water. I mean, we can learn so much about ourselves from plants, from trees, from nature.
Amen. It's fascinating how hydration becomes more than a wellness trend in your world. It becomes a conversation between body, earth, and spirit. And that's the kind of reminder we all need. Now, when life feels heavy, and we all have those moments, what's one ritual or grounding practice that helps you recalibrate?
So not only do I actually ground outside, so I go outside of my backyard with Gaia completely barefoot, but I always say if you need to cry, give it back to the earth. Whenever I cry, if I'm able to go outside, I go outside and let my tears go back into the soil. It's a true story. I see everything as healing, and I know nature can be that for us. And so I literally go outside and cry. And if you've ever had the chance to cry in the rain, oh my God, I used to be so scared that my hair would get wet and all of that, but it's something now about, again, just kind of being one with the earth. So I always say, whenever you're going through anything, go outside. My initial healing journey had a lot to do with me walking and just getting sun. But now it's, I use it for everything, and I literally go outside. So cry, walk, ground, do it all. Nature is here to heal us and help us all.
There's something so sacred in simplicity.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. A
Yeah.
ritual like that isn't about escape, it's about arrival.
Yeah, absolutely. And remembering.
That's deeply resonant, right?
You have to.
Now let's talk about herbalism.
Yeah.
What plants or practices do you turn to when you're seeking emotional clarity or energetic balance?
Yeah. So every morning I used to be a big coffee drinker, but I have since moved on to tea because it's a ritual to me. I think about what my body needs. And so, when I was heavy in my postpartum journey, a lion's mane mushroom in a tincture form was huge for my brain fog and just, having the mommy brain. I begin my morning every morning with soursop leaves in my tea to, help with immune function. Passion flower. So I actually have anxiety, and I was nervous about this interview, and not that I'm nervous to talk or anything, but it's just a natural, my nervous system from, just life. It needs some regulation. So a passion flower. And I love the name of it because you can kind of, associate the passion flower. I always say that when I'm nervous, I'm passionate. You can see me get red, but passion flower is super, helpful for anxiety, grounding yourself. So I have a mixture, whether it's, mushroom teas, reishi mushroom, lion's mane mushroom, soursop, ashwagandha for energy and revitalization. So I can go on and on, but every morning I ask myself, what does my body need? And I kind of pick a herb to put in my tea from that.
You are speaking my language.
Yes.
Wow. Everything you just said, I use and do. Soursop, I don't do it in tea, but I do the drops. I love that.
Yeah.
But all of these are great recommendations. I mean, that felt like a plant-powered prayer.
Yeah, it is.
These herbs you mentioned carry stories. They carry ancestry, and you're helping to make that wisdom accessible again. You should be so proud of yourself, and you're doing it in a cool way on social media. So I love it. Now, to someone hearing tree whispering for the first time, it might sound out there. Right. How do you explain this to someone more skeptical or grounded in the scientific?
Right. So the best way that I've been able to explain it is I tell everyone, go outside and try for yourself. And I've received so many just videos of love, of people crying tears of joy because they didn't realize that it could happen for them. Go outside and give your worries to the trees, give your stress, to nature, and just watch what happens. I know it seems weird, but it's energy, and energy is everything. And we can learn so much about healing ourselves with energy as well. So
There's a quiet power in how you hold space for skepticism without trying to convince. I mean, you invite people to feel, to witness, and that's the essence of truth. I mean,
exactly. I'm not here to convince, but to awaken. So for those people that if I'm not their cup of tea, hey, I'm not your cup of tea, that's something. But for those that kind of understand like, hey, this feels correct, or understand indigenous practices, how we've always had a connection with the trees, or at least indigenous people have always had a connection with nature. And so it's kind of brings you back into a sense of remembering for a lot of people. And that's what I love.
Now, the world of wellness on social media can be tricky. Filters, trends, misinformation. What's one myth about wellness influencers you'd like to debunk?
I think that, so for instance, I call myself a healer, but that is not from a place of, preaching from a pedestal. One thing that I want people to understand about whether, it's wellness influencers or healers is that we're walking the journey with people. We have gotten to this point because we have hard times, because we're not perfect. We don't have it all together. So I hope that, if anyone sees an influencer that, is big on wellness, it's not that they're at a different place or better than people or more healed, is that we just have different tools and mechanisms to tap into healing or to tap into joy. But we walk the walk with everyone. So I don't want to seem like, and also as far as, tree talking, I don't want to be known or the only person, I don't want to be known as the only person that can talk to trees. I invite people that, hey, if you see me and I, inspire you to get into wellness or nature talking, just try for yourself, because we all have this capability. We're all human. And yeah, it's not to think that we all just have it all together just because we're healers or into, wellness. We are educating ourselves every single day. How to be better. So
I love it. You just peeled back the gloss and reminded us that healing is raw, it's imperfect, and it's really deeply human. So thank you for that truth. Now, with growing attention on holistic healing, there's also a rise in false claims and skepticism. So how do you protect the integrity of your message while navigating the misinformation in the wellness space and really the bad actors that are casting doubt on influencers like yourself?
right. You know what? I'm no longer here to convince anybody. I think my message and seeing the reaction and the love that has come from, these videos, that it's all, it's all in the education, or it's all in just going outside and trying for yourself. And so, for anyone that is doubtful, I would just say, just because you don't understand something, never try to discredit it, because there's a whole world of information that sometimes we just don't know. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And so I would say just keep an open mind. But again, I'm not here to convince anyone, just to kind of awaken those that this feels correct for, that they understand energy, they understand appreciating and honoring nature. So it's it's a little tough with the comments on TikTok and things like that. But I send them love, and I know that, understanding is just on the other end if they just slow down, start living an intentional life, understand energy is everything, and they can see for themselves in so many ways, so many forms.
You've taken us on a journey, one that didn't require passports or downloads, just presence. So thank you for reminding us that the deepest wisdom often comes in the stillness, in the breath between thoughts, or in the rustle of a tree answering back. And I love that.
Absolutely.
For all of those listening and watching, you can definitely follow Asia on Instagram at Asia_Noel_ and explore her world of sacred storytelling, motherhood, and healing rituals. You can also find her on Linktree at Asia Noël. This was the Hydration with Heart segment made possible by Once Upon a Coconut, the coconut water brand that understands hydration is more than what you drink, it's how you live. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
The Kelly Williams Show is brought to you by Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events. Tune in and turn on your happy. Kelly Williams is full of energy and incredible guests. Watch her anytime, free programming on Your Home TV network, and do follow her on social media for a chance to win monthly prizes. Check out The Kelly Williams Show on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. This is the Better, Brighter You segment brought to you by Cyspera, the revolutionary system designed to help you reclaim your skin's brilliance without compromise. Today, we're spotlighting a dynamic duo in dermatology, a father-son team redefining excellence in skincare. Together, they bring nearly 4 decades of combined experience, innovation, and compassion to their thriving practice in Omaha, Nebraska. Dr. Joel Schlessinger is a double board-certified dermatologist, Mohs surgeon, cosmetic surgeon, and founder of LovelySkin.com, which is the largest dermatologist-owned skincare platform in the world. With a career spanning over 25 years, he's a national leader in aesthetics treatment and surgical dermatology. Joining him is his son, Dr. Daniel Schlessinger, a double board-certified dermatologist and fellowship-trained Mohs and cosmetic surgeon who also happens to be a pioneer in artificial intelligence applications for dermatology and co-founder of FixMySkin Healing Balms, which he invented at just 12 years old. But today we're going deeper into a topic that's gaining ground fast, men's skincare. From overlooked pigmentation concerns to confidence-shifting treatments, we're diving into the unspoken realities and trends shaping how men care for their skin. Beyond the razor, men's skin, hidden concerns, and the father-son duo changing the face of dermatology. Welcome to the show, superstars.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So excited. Okay, Dr. Joel, I'm going to start with you. Men often delay seeking skincare treatments until issues become severe. What is the most common concern men face, and why do you think so many of them go unaddressed?
Well, men are just very procrastinative in their approach to skincare, and they want to wait until something breaks and they don't fix it in advance. And it's a real problem oftentimes. But the good news is that we're seeing a lot more men that are understanding the benefit of skincare and the fact that they really do have to get ahead of it, or else they'll come in and see way too many problems and not be able to address it.
That's so true. We don't often think of men as struggling with things like, melasma or rosacea, but when they do, it can become incredibly isolating. So yeah, you have to stay ahead of the curve there. Now, Dr. Daniel, you're part of a new wave of dermatologists embracing tech and aesthetics. What are the most popular or in-demand skincare treatments men are asking for today, especially among millennials and Gen Z?
Well, I think the great thing, Zen, is that a lot of the traditional skincare treatments that you might have thought of as really for women, like Botox, neuromodulators, fillers, or lasers, are actually things that have kind of become destigmatized and very normalized. So I've been seeing an increase in younger men who are coming in for getting some Botox, and they're not even coming in with their wives. They're just coming in as themselves and they just want something to refresh them. I'm seeing more men do more resurfacing lasers, especially gentler resurfacing lasers. We use a Moxie laser and a BBL laser, which helps get rid of excess pigmentation and smooth the texture of the skin. And I'm also seeing a shift towards biostimulating fillers. So things like Sculptra or poly-L-lactic acid would be a great example of things that younger men are coming to me looking for nowadays.
Now, Dr. Joel, you've treated a wide range of pigmentation issues over the many decades you've been in business, from post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation to sun damage. For men specifically, how does pigmentation show up differently? And what do you wish more patients understood about treating it effectively?
Well, men are in many ways fortunate. They don't suffer the same pigmentation issues that women do because, frankly, they don't get pregnant. They don't have all the hormones hanging around from things like birth control pills or other hormonal issues. And that is a big deal. Now, what men do get is they're out in the sun. And when you're out in the sun, you're going to have some pigmentation. I don't care if you have worn sunscreen or what you've done, you're going to have some sun damage. And that sun damage is going to be needing some improvement after about 10 or 15 years of doing that day after day after day. Even if you've done it just during the summers, you're going to still need to repair that. So a lot of guys, and especially a lot of older guys that are trying to be relevant in this day and age, are coming in for treatments like, as Dr. Daniel said, the lasers, but they want skincare as well. And that's something that we're seeing more and more. So that's where things like Cyspera fit in great. It's a great new treatment for pigmentation, and it reverses some of the damages that the sun and fun have done over time.
I love that. Cyspera is great, and it's clinically researched, clinically verified, and just such a sustainable and diverse product that I use it myself. It's great. It truly does brighten my skin. Now, Dr. Daniel, AI in dermatology is evolving fast. Can you speak to how it's improving diagnosis and care in cases like pigmentation disorders or early stage skin cancers per se, especially in male patients who may skip routine exams?
Well, Zen, you're totally right. It is moving fast, but you also have to keep in mind the common mantra of Silicon Valley: move fast and break things. It's also breaking a lot of things. So you have to be very wary of what AI you're using, because not all AIs are created equally. And some of the chatbots out there, like ChatGPT or Gemini, the newer versions are smarter in some ways, and they're better at conversing with you. But a lot of times they're hallucinating more too. So for diagnosing pigmentation, we are seeing more skin analysis apps that are popping up there where, people will download something on the App Store and take a picture of their face, and an app will show them areas that they've had sun damage, a photo damage over the years, maybe some wrinkles or fine lines. Is it helping me diagnose skin cancer at this time? No. The best thing out there still remains seeing a board-certified dermatologist who's just going to use a very low-tech way of looking at your skin, but it's tried and true, and it tends to work very well. AI is out there, and my hope is that it gets better, but we need stricter regulations and guardrails around it.
Well spoken. I love that you said that. You definitely can't replace a trained eye. Now, to both of you, this is a question that you both can answer. Let's talk about Cyspera. You touched upon it a little bit earlier, Dr. Joel. So hyperpigmentation can be one of the most frustrating skin conditions to treat, especially for men who want quick results but have sensitive skin. How does Cyspera fit into your practice, and what makes it a standout option?
Well, we want things that are accessible to people, and many people don't have the time or energy to go to a doctor's office or in some way get the prescription they need to have for the prescription items like hydroquinone. So that's where Cyspera enters in, and it's a great treatment. Its main hero ingredient is cysteamine, which is an amine, which is normally found in the body, but we use this to improve the pigmentation. It actually was invented as something for kidney treatment and has been changed in this wonderful product, Cyspera, to be applied topically, and it has so many benefits and very few, if any, of the detriments that some of the topical products or prescription products have had over time.
I love that. What's your perspective, Dr. Daniel?
I think the really nice thing about Cyspera is it's a newer treatment, but it's also been around for quite a long time in other ways. Dr. Fitzpatrick studied this many decades ago, and he was one of the pioneers in dermatology, naming the Fitzpatrick skin types that we all use and know nowadays. And its formulation is non-cytotoxic, so there's not nearly as much inflammation that would be associated with it. It also has a secondary ingredient in several of the formulations, which is isobionic amide, which also is in the niacinamide family, and that works hand in hand with the cysteamine to essentially boost the effectiveness of it. So you kind of have this 1-2 punch of the cysteamine and the isobionic amide. The other thing that I was going to mention is when you have patients who are coming in for those resurfacing procedures, whether they're treating pigmentation concerns or some other skin resurfacing concern, and you want to have a topical product on board, there are some products are more inflammatory and would be revved up by the heat from the lasers. And so you use those, such as hydroquinone, for a few weeks beforehand. And cysteamine can play a really good big role in those patients because it's non-inflammatory. So that's a really nice role for a product like Cyspera, is in those patients who are undergoing laser resurfacing.
That's so refreshing to hear that there's a solution that delivers clinical results without prescription level irritation, especially for guys and patients who won't commit to 5-step routines, right? This seems to be very fitting and simplified. Now, Dr. Joel, you're also one of the top aesthetic physicians in the country when it comes to treatments like laser or fillers for men. What approach do you take to ensure results are natural and confidence boosting, not overdone?
Well, I think that's the most important thing that can happen in a doctor-patient relationship, is having somebody who knows when to stop. And the problem is that there are a lot of people out there who don't know that, and they just try more and more and more. And that's when you get people that look, just done. They don't look normal. They look a little bit more, like they've had something done. And nobody wants to come into your office and say, make me look like I've had plastic surgery or something done to me. They want to be natural. They want to look like they've are more refreshed. They want to look like they've had something that makes them more relaxed. And that's what these types of things should be done with the goal of attaining. And we can do that. And a lot of this comes into things like fillers, things like neuromodulators, like Botox, Dysport, etc. But skincare plays a big role in everything that we do, because you can fix those things like wrinkles, but if you have a skin that looks like it's leathered or beaten or just doesn't look fresh, people know something's going on there. So it's an integrative approach that you want to make sure that they look good and that their skin looks good and that there's nothing that is missing in the whole picture.
That's a great approach. I love that. Now, Dr. Daniel, let's talk prevention. What should men be doing daily to protect their skin, particularly those dealing with pigmentation and shaving irritation or even environmental stress?
Well, it's a great question, Zen. So I think one of the things that men do that is just a built-in nice way of taking care of their skin is they're shaving, and that actually naturally exfoliates the skin. So that's one reason why men's skin, I think, has a leg up on women's a lot of the time, is you're every few days, you're going to be exfoliating. So that's one thing. But you also have to be cleaning your skin, cleansing your skin with a cleanser. And oftentimes you'll need an extra boost, some kind of exfoliator, a gentle acid to kind of remove the top layer of skin and take some of the oil and the sebum away. And then especially if you're dealing with pigmentary concerns, sun avoidance and sun protection is essential. You could be doing all the laser treatments in the world, every topical product, every pill or ointment. And if you're out in the sun, all of that will be for naught. It will all go away. So you must avoid the sun, both physical protection with hats and actual barriers, and also with things like sunscreen.
Okay, well, we're moving on here. There's a lot of great information here coming from the father-son duo. I love the way you guys are running your business, but also how dynamic you are together. Now, let's talk about Cyspera. So for men just beginning that skincare journey, what role does a clinically proven pigment corrector like Cyspera play in giving them that visible progress? How do you position it in a way that makes compliance easy and results tangible, if you will?
So I think that one of the things that is so nice about Cyspera is that it's a complete system that helps with pigmentation. And I love the fact that it actually acts as an antioxidant too. So it has not only the antioxidant of the histamine, but it also has vitamin C in some of its products, Boost, and squalene as well, and the niacinamide product, the isobionic amide. So it really does have a whole plate of things that help your skin look better, as well as improving them and making you look the best you can without too much effort on the part. Because guys, they are really not into doing a lot of things. Simple system. They just want to get the stuff done, and they really aren't going to invest a lot of time into it. So this fits the bill for most of them.
Yeah, that's the kind of game-changing guidance men need. Something simple, science-backed, and effective enough to actually stick with. So it speaks my husband's language very well.
I love that.
Well, we're officially at the end of our time, my friends. Thank you so much both for coming on. It was so informative. I love the insight, and I love that you guys speak to not just men and women, but to each other the way you do. You guys run a great business together, and the fact that you're a father-son duo makes me believe that you're so much more passionate about your business if you're passing this on generationally. So kudos to you.
It's great to be a dermatologist, and it's great to be in practice with my son. It's really been a phenomenal thing. And I just think that it's great to have the opportunity to inform so many men out there. You know, there's hope for you. If you're 60, 70, even 80, it's time for you to go back and get something done with your skin. Get yourself into a board certified dermatologist, see what they have to offer. And there is so much that can be done. So don't give up.
There you have it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you listening and watching, to learn more about their practice and expertise, you can visit lovelyskin.com and follow them on the gram at Omaha Beauty Doc and at Derm Doc Daniel on Instagram and at TikTok as well. And a big thank you to our sponsor, Cyspera, helping patients around the world achieve better, brighter skin, one application at a time. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Cyspera. If skin discoloration is making it hard to find your Zen, Cyspera can help. Stubborn pigmentation, dark spots, and uneven skin tone concerns go beyond the surface, affecting both confidence and self-expression. In a sea of skincare choices, Cyspera stands apart. Backed by science and trusted by dermatologists worldwide, Cyspera is powered by the advanced cysteamine isobonic amide complex, delivering clinically proven results and effectively targeting mild to persistent discoloration while restoring the skin's natural glow. Unlike harsh treatments, Cyspera is formulated for all skin types, including sensitive areas, ensuring visible improvements without irritation. Whether pigmentation is a new concern or a long-standing struggle, Cyspera works in harmony with the skin to bring balance, clarity, and renewed confidence. Cyspera is science-driven skincare for confidence that shines. Find your skin zen and restore your glow with Cyspera today by heading to Cyspera.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in CO2 Lift's Going Deep segment, today we're joined by Candice Marino, also known as the LA Facialist. For almost 2 decades, Candice has been a trusted and sought-after medical esthetician in the heart of Hollywood. Her expertise lies in creating tailored complexion protocols and employing exclusive techniques that have garnered the loyalty of a highly discerning celebrity clientele, from Kourtney Kardashian to Grimes to Miranda Kerr to Mandy Moore, and that's just to name a few. She's going to join me today to give us the inside scoop on what's in her skincare arsenal and what her celebrity clients can't live without. What treatments and products are behind your favorite celebrity glowing skin? She's going to break it all down for us right now. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thanks. I'm really excited to be here.
Welcome to the Expert on the Microphone series. We're going to dive right in. So you're located in Los Angeles, a primary hub for the aesthetic industry, putting you in very close proximity to seemingly endless high-profile patients and other skincare experts. But it doesn't come without its challenges when trying to stand out in a crowded market. You're known by the nickname the LA Facialist. I love that. What do you think sets your approach apart from others in the industry, and how would you describe your skincare philosophy?
So we are right in the heart of Beverly Hills, and I am on the premier street for aesthetics. Every single surgeon, dermatologist, dentist, they're here on Bedford. And I think what sets me apart is that I've never strayed away from the full format facial. I really believe in massage extractions, where a lot of the people in town and basically in the industry are really about the quick fix, about the hydrofacial, the microneedle, the laser, the quick things. I take my time. I do a 90-minute treatment, and I've never strayed from that. I've never gone with trends, and I just stayed true to the way I practice. And I think that's what sets us apart here.
And you're glowing. For those of you that are just listening and haven't viewed the segment yet, she's beautiful. Now, you work with some of the most photographed faces in Hollywood. We named a few earlier: Kourtney Kardashian, Grimes, Miranda Kerr, Mandy Moore, just to reiterate. But I'm curious to know, what skincare concerns are your celebrity clients looking to address when they come to you, and what are your favorite fixes?
So I think everybody is mostly concerned with texture and pigments. I think those are the two things, because you can put makeup on top of texture, but you're still going to see it, right? And then with pigment, everybody wants more even, more flawless skin, and they want to glow. And when you have less pigment, you're able to wear less makeup. So I think that those are my two biggest concerns that I tackle personally. And we approach them usually with chemical peels, with products that contain different chemical ingredients to get a little bit of micro exfoliation through their daily routine. But really, when it comes down to getting flawless skin, whether we're prepping them for a red carpet or just for, wanting to look good in daily life, it's all about consistency, and it's more so about what you do every single day at home than the treatments that you do here and there. So I always like to reiterate that to my clients. If you can't get in for a facial or you can't go for a laser or whatever, it's fine. If you're using good skincare and you're consistent, you will still get results. And that's why I always kind of stress people to do a virtual consult or to get with somebody that they can trust to put them on a routine.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, quick fixes, not your thing. You're more long-term and longevity, and I love that. Now, I know you're a big fan of CO2 Lift, and they offer both the Pro Mask and Carboxy Mousse Moisturizer at your practice. What is it about these products in particular that stands out and makes them a staple, not only at your practice, but also in your personal skincare routine?
These products are incredible. They're not just a skincare product. This is actually like a medical grade treatment. So the carboxy technology is basically creating a gas exchange in the tissue. So we're surging the skin with carbon dioxide, and the opposite of that is oxygen. Just like we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. We're doing that in the skin. So we're basically giving respiration to the tissue, and that's going to bring circulation, which brings oxygen, which brings glow and nutrients. So it's the perfect way to get a glow. It's also incredibly anti-inflammatory, and inflammation is the key to literally everything that we see in the skin that we do not like, whether it's acne, redness, dryness, everything at the root is actually caused by inflammation. So if we can decrease inflammation, we can deliver glow, you're going to have a great result. Just 45 minutes apart from application to removing, it's like night and day. It's like an instant facelift. You get lifted, sculpted, snatched. It increases hydration by 117%. So this is the mask that I choose. Anytime somebody needs to look their absolute best, we're applying that mask. And the great thing is that you could do it after a treatment, even if you went in for like a microneedling or a crazy laser, or even after surgery. I know some surgeons are actually putting this mask over sutures because it increases healing. But I love these because we do them here in the office, but we also send them home with our clients.
Okay, I take it back. There is a quick fix. It's CO2 Lift.
There is a quick fix. It is the CO2 Lift mask. And then the mousse of like giving yourself that topical carboxy therapy every single day. So we could think of it as like an additional moisturizer. I personally use it morning and night after my serums. And then sometimes if I'm feeling drier, I'll put another moisturizer on top because it's quite lightweight. It's actually one of my favorite options for people who are oily or acne prone because it's going to deliver that oxygen. You're going to get your hydration, but it won't be too heavy.
I love it. And I saw Benny Blanco talking about the mousse. So clearly it's getting some love from your celebrity clientele too on your page.
Yes, Benny is a client of Lindsay who works in my practice, and he is on her routine, but CO2 mousse is a staple in that routine.
I love it. Now you provide top tier treatments in office, but for clients looking to maintain great skin, it ultimately just depends on their at-home routine. So can you walk us through how you help your clients choose the best products suited to their skin? And are there any specific products you find yourself coming back that can help extend and enhance that post-treatment glow until their next appointment?
Totally. So everything we do is completely customized here, from our facial treatments to the routines that we send people home with. So it all comes down to consultation. We go over lifestyle, we go over all of the things that contribute to how your skin looks. So where you live, the climate, everything really does impact the skin. So we go really deep in the consultation, and then from there we create a routine based on your specific needs. Everyone usually needs a cleanser. I always say my top non-negotiables are an antioxidant serum during the day to protect your skin from the environment and the sun. Obviously, we want to recommend a sunscreen during the day, and then in the evening, something exfoliating to just speed up cell turnover. Some of my go-tos that are kind of just like everybody needs them outside of the carboxy is Clinical Extreme Protect SPF 30. That's my favorite skincare product of all time because it's SPF with antioxidants and moisturizer. So people are minimalist and they don't want to use too many things. That's like a one and done daytime thing. In the evening, Alpharet from Skin Better Science. It's a retinoic acid with some lactic and glycolate. It's exfoliating, anti-aging, plumps up the skin. And those are kind of like my speed dial, like everybody needs it.
Okay, well, that's pretty thorough. I'm going to keep all of that in my trusty notepad and go to it. Now, let's take a peek behind the curtain. The secret to great skin is not always topical. So how do lifestyle factors like diet and stress and sleep play into skin health? How do you strike that balance between holistic wellness and clinical treatments?
I feel like the skin is going to show something that might be happening internally. So if something's off, if there's a hormone imbalance, if there's a gut imbalance, if you're not sleeping, if you're just not taking care of yourself, you're going to see it in the skin, whether it shows up as pigment, if you're just puffy, if you have dark circles, acne, all of these things can be contributed to lifestyle. And I always tell my clients, we can get you on the best products in the world and they might get you clear, but you'll always go back to baseline until you get everything right internally. So oftentimes I'm referring people out to naturopaths and functional medicine doctors to kind of look inside and see what's going on. A lot of times I'll get somebody completely clear, and if they haven't changed their lifestyle components, they're going to have that clearance for a little while. Even on the same consistent routine, they're always going to go back until they get their gut right or their hormones right. So it's something that I really stress to my clients. It's not just a topical situation for most of us. It is an internal situation. So you have to do a little bit of deeper diagnostics to figure out what the root is, and then we want to tackle that.
Yeah, that gut microbiome is very, very critical. It plays a huge factor in all of this and the inflammation. I take Armra colostrum and it's been a game changer. Not plugging Armra, but hey, big shout out to them. And it has been a game changer in the way that I see my skin, the hydration, anyhow, from within. So you're 100% right. Now, before we wrap up here, I'm curious to know, are there any skincare trends you see gaining traction amongst the celebrities that haven't hit the mainstream yet? I mean, is there anything especially exciting that you see emerging?
You know, I am so bad. Everybody wants to ask me about trends, and I am like the anti-trend person. The TikToker. I have a TikTok. I don't run it. I have somebody that runs it for me. When I hear the word trend, I run from it. Consistency is key. And health shouldn't be a trend, right? Health should be something that is consistent, something that we practice daily to see results. If you're jumping on every single trend and you're going for the next shiny object, you won't see results. So when I hear the word trend, I kind of back up. I have no idea what's going on in the trend space. I'm all about doing the things that work, doing them consistently, and just living by that motto.
Okay, no trends, no quick fixes here. I got it. Loud and clear.
We're not lip-booing.
Not lip-booing. I love that. Well, we are at the end of our date, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on. It was so much fun chatting with you and going down this rabbit hole of so much, there's so much misinformation out there, but thank you for breaking it down for us.
Thank you for having me.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift, and that was the LA facialist herself, Candice Marino. Definitely follow her on the gram at the LA Facialist, and of course, check out her website at thelafacialist.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to co2lift.com.
I have a question for you. Is your wellness routine truly clean or just cleverly marketed? In this episode of Polished Beauty, we're going to talk about eco-friendly, and I put that in quotation marks, and see how it fits into the wellness space. You've probably picked up a product and you saw the word clean written on it or the word green written on it. And you immediately think, oh, this is good. But what does clean and green means? What is the meaning? Number one, let's talk about clean products. So clean products are formulated without any ingredients shown or suspected to harm human health. There's no parabens. Parabens are linked to hormone disruption. Also, no phthalate. It is associated with reproductive toxicity. Also, a clean product will have no formaldehyde or preservatives of that nature because we know it's carcinogenic. And lastly, it's going to be free of synthetic fragrances because there's so many unlisted chemicals that are associated with it. A clean product is going to have sustainable sourcing. And what that essentially means that is ethically harvested botanicals. A green product essentially, on the other hand, focuses on environmental impact. Also, a green product is going to be eco-friendly packaging. So think bottles as opposed to plastics, all right? And also, if a product is green, it has low water or energy footprint during production. So they think about the environment. And they also want to look at certifications because, you know, anyone can just say, hey, I'm a green product, but are they truly a green product? So you want to look at some certification. And there are three I'll bring up that you should keep in mind. Number one, is it EWG verified? Does it meet health and transparency standards? The second one you should look at when the product says that they are green beauty is Cosmos Organic. Essentially, all that means is sustainable manufacturing and organic ingredients were utilized in production. And then the third one to look for is lipin bunny. Basically means that no animal testing was performed. So let's talk about fitness with a smaller carbon footprint. What does that mean? It's a whole bunch of big words, but really it just boils down to the simple things. The materials that you use matters. So if you are into yoga, Pilates, or using instruments, you want to get things that are more natural, like use natural rubber mats, use cork reduced microplastic shedding compared to PVCs. Also, the gear that you wear. Always look for the Ecotech certification in activewear. This basically ensures that the fabric was tested for any harmful substance. Another thing is your home workout. If you choose to do home workouts, you are decreasing the carbon footprint because number one, you're not hauling into your car and driving to the gym and emitting all the CO2 into the planet. So you are contributing to a smaller footprint and fitness. So it's good to elevate the rituals and take responsibility in how you move in our planet because every one of us is contributing something to our planet. Why not make it positive, clean, and green?
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by the Polished Beauty Podcast with Dr. Daisy Ayin.
Hey, ambitious women, ready to shine on the inside and out? Tune in to the Polished Beauty Podcast, where we talk about business, beauty, brains, and body all in one spot. Meet Dr. Daisy Aim, triple board certified cosmetic surgeon, pro-aging advocate, fitness enthusiast, and your go-to for real talk on leveling up every part of your life. The Polished Beauty Podcast is your dose of ambition meets empowerment. For more information, head to polishedbeautypodcast.com.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
In business and in life, there's always an upside. Finding it is often the challenge. Having a mindset that looks for it and embraces problems as opportunities is the key to thriving. Finding the Upside with Maria de Lorenzis Reyes explores the transformative power of optimism, featuring visionary business owners, influential leaders, and inspiring everyday people. Tune in and see how they navigate changing conditions with optimism and innovation. Watch the special series One Tough Chick, highlighting resilient and powerful women, streaming on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. We are at the end of our date. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and all episodes of A Moment of Zen are available on Your Home TV platform, digital streaming worldwide. You could head directly to our channel at mox.yourhometv.com. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make the show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We'll be back next week.